reported today in The Verge. Carbon markets could strengthen or screw over global action on climate change. Leaders from 197 countries are hammering out the details of one of the most contested strategies for tackling climate change: international carbon markets, which allow countries to offset their planet-heating emissions by funding green projects elsewhere. As delegates negotiated at the annual United Nations Climate Conference in Madrid this week, protests unfolded over the carbon-cutting scheme, which some environmental activists called a false solution. Existing carbon markets have a checkered past, and unless tighter rules are put in place moving forward, new carbon markets could actually make the climate crisis worse. That's because, with a poorly designed system, there's the risk that carbon credits could offer polluters an opportunity to get out of actually having to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions. Without proper oversight and robustness, these mechanisms would severely undercut climate actions by creating loopholes, said Yamid Dagnit, a senior associate at the environmental think tank World Resources Institute, during a December 2 press conference in Madrid. It could be no less than cheating, greenwashing, and deceiving people. The term carbon markets covers a huge range of strategies that all work in similar ways. Generally, they provide an economic incentive for countries or corporations to reduce their carbon footprint. Instead of cutting down its own emissions, a polluting company or country can purchase carbon credits from another entity that overachieved in reducing its own carbon footprint. Or the polluter might offset its greenhouse gas emissions by investing in a reforestation initiative or renewable energy project. Money gets funneled into green projects, and the most successful carbon cutters can make a profit. On paper, it sounds great. Big polluters looking to reduce their environmental impact get more options. Money often flows into developing nations that could use an infusion of cash. It encourages global cooperation since a ton of carbon emissions are a ton of carbon emissions whether they're produced in Zimbabwe or Switzerland. Not to mention, it's often cheaper to take measures to keep that carbon out of the atmosphere in a developing nation as opposed to a developed one. If you use the logic of carbon markets correctly, then you can significantly reduce the cost of decarbonization. And guess what? You can help a lot of developing countries, Satyajit Bose, Associate Director of Columbia University's Program in Sustainability Management, tells The Verge. Indigenous youth from @native_MVMT and @indigenous_CA held an action against the carbon offsets in Article 6 of the Paris Agreement here at the UN's #25 Colombian pesos #offsets pollutepic.twitter.com/Zulfiu. But people who call some of the places most for more on this story, visit the news article link.